Live, buddy. You are live.
We are live and in effect. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to show episode 85 of the Ignite Your Purpose podcast vlog, Chinwag Sessions. John and I are blessing you today with some more rambling. And what do you call it, John?
Waffling.
Waffling on the other
Waffle.
side of the pond. On something John and I have both done, which would be, I want to say a solid food vacation. John just finished a 26-hour drinking of liquids only that just came out from a whim. He didn't plan it. He just read something and was like, screw it, I'm trying it. And so John's going to spit to us kind of what he went through, the mind, the body, and the soul, and how he feels, and if he's going to do it again and all that jazz. And then we'll probably talk about how, every major tradition from spiritual and religious practice these things and how it's not really taught anymore. But let's go, John. Tell us.
Interesting. Because I was watching a bit of London Real TV yesterday. There's a guy on called Steve Maxwell, who's a nomadic. He's one of the top trainers in the world, and he has a depth of knowledge in all things physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. He doesn't know it all, but he's a font of knowledge. And I was just listening to this interview. I think it was an old one. There's more recent episodes where he's been back, but he was talking about a free PDF by a guy called Dr. Tilden, written in the 1930s, and it was titled, I think, Toxemia Explained. It's 150 pages, so I kind of just been flicking through it. But in the show, he was saying how this guy started his practice in traditional medicine, as in pharmaceutical type medicine, and fixing symptoms rather than looking for the root causes. And then he evolved to looking for the root causes. And through 30 years of, 50 years, I think was his total medical career, but 30 years of it, he was kind of working through what causes dis-ease or dis-ease. And ultimately, he said, in his opinion, it comes down to a toxicity. So he says excess toxicity within the body, and that's physical, mental, emotional. And we can gain a symptom here, but if we start breaking it down all the way back, it will all come down to an excessive toxicity, and a small problem turns into a bigger problem, then a bigger problem, and a bigger problem. And then when you unpeel them, that's where it comes from. And so he was speaking about how he intermittently, once a week, once every couple of weeks, he does a water fast. I think he said he'd been 14 days on purely just water. I've read about guys doing a whole year. They may have taken some kind of micronutrient supplement, but generally they've not eaten for a year and been fine and vibrant and energetic. And I was sat there and I thought, I think I had breakfast about 10. Okay, let's see how far I can go.
Nice.
Completely out of nowhere. I don't need to lose weight, but I'm carrying a bit of weight, but I don't need to lose weight. That was not the driver. It was, let's just see how I feel throughout this 24 hours. So I didn't do a water fast. I did a water and tea, Chinese tea, green tea, pu'er tea, turmeric tea, that kind of thing. So a little bit of flavor. And man, the mind games that I went through, mind games. Oh my God. Emma would grab a piece of fruit and I'm like, ah. Emma would grab a lunch or a dinner. I'm like, ah. And I'm saying to her, I said, don't leave any scraps out. If there's put it away. If there's a bowl and a few, put it in the sink, because there is I have such a behavior of seeing a bit of an avocado, half an avocado, and you scrape some out. There's always, can't waste that.
Nope, exactly.
Whether I'm hungry or not, it's just behavior. Or we serve up for dinner and there's some rice in or some veg in, just a couple of bits. I'm like, let's scrape that up, because it's what we've always been taught to do, is don't leave food. You don't know where the next meal is coming from. Guess what, people? We don't live in that world anymore.
That's true.
There is always another meal. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm hungry. And then I start processing. Are you hungry or are you bored? Are you do you think you're missing out? Somebody else is having something. And I was sat there thinking, well, Steve's gone 14 days. This other guy's gone a year. You ate this morning. You ate 3 meals yesterday. You eat incredible food all the time. How can you be hungry? And then I would go through the sort of, I wasn't tormenting with it all day, but I drank a lot of water and a lot of tea to keep myself just distracted.
Yeah.
And they say when you feel hunger, excuse me, have a glass of water first, because that's the body's first kind of way of telling you that it needs to be hydrated. So
Truth.
that's kind of the long and the short of yesterday's experience. I woke up this morning, 5:15, had a meditation, downstairs, did an hour on the push bike. Emma made her breakfast. Didn't feel any need. It wasn't, oh my God, I'm not eating for 18 hours. And it was fine. Went to worked all morning, and got home for about maybe 12:15, 12:30, and had a snack. Probably more than I would have done normally, because I think I'd not eat for 24 hours. I must eat to work. But all in all, an interesting experiment. I do intermittent fasting, so I'll go sort of I'll eat at 6 or 7 in the evening, then try not to eat until maybe 12 or 2 in the afternoon. But I don't think I've ever gone this long before. So lots to kind of mull and think about over the next few days. But I'm not sure if Max has done anything like this before. I know you do intermittent fasting.
Yep.
But, what's your thoughts?
I was the same as you. I was on actually when I was in the UK and I was coming back to Canada, just the way it worked, I decided not to eat. And with time changes and all that, it was probably, I'm going to say 23, 24 hours. And it was more by choice, because the foods they were serving on the plane was something I would never eat anyway. They were microwaving it and just whatever, right? And I was actually, even because I'm a weirdo when it comes to going in on the bathrooms on the plane. I wasn't drinking a ton either. I was drinking, but not a ton. So I didn't really drink or eat for that long. Now, being on a plane, not in your own bed, it's probably different than John. I think John, he even said he went for a bike ride this morning, right on the push bike. So there was always some energy there. I felt definitely a little more fatigued, just due to travel and all that. You're around different energies and all that. But it is a mind game, because you see other people eating food, and then all of a sudden your belly would grumble, and I was like, oh, that's just weird, But getting out of it, I wasn't hungry. I wasn't not hungry. I was just flat. And then it wasn't till I was like, hey, now I want to eat, or now I should eat so I can accumulate energy or whatever, right? I think it's a different story if you're working out and training. If you're gonna do things like this, you're obviously gonna want to just go for little walks, and especially if you're doing longer sessions, you're obviously not gonna be able to pump weights and climb mountains. But again, every major spiritual and religious tradition preaches this, so there must be something to it. Correct, John?
Yeah, well, even Jesus, 40 days and 40 nights.
Exactly.
There's that Lent, and then we have the Muslims have their periods. But you go back through millennia, and from the sort of quick bit of reading I've done is, if you fancy doing it, if you fancy, what, that might be interesting, plan it for the weekend. Plan it for a weekend. Yep. Be kind to yourself. Don't program in loads of different kids events and running and shopping and flights. Be kind. Take the body.
Exactly. Be kind. Good words. Yeah. And you do your research. For the guys, there's a guy on YouTube. Maybe we'll put the link up. Is it John Rose? Yeah, John Rose, I think his name is. He's the guy who talks about solid food vacations all the time. And he's done the juice and the water cleanses for, up to a month straight. And he says when you start going that long, you'll definitely see what comes out of the body. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not putting anything solid in, and you're just basically flushing. Oops. That was a big boom. You're just flushing the body out. So it's interesting what's in us and how long it's been in us, right? So it's something to baby steps into, but John and I might go there one day.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah, lots of food we eat. It comes in. 20-30% of it doesn't get digested. It putrefies and rots, and lots of it just sits in your pockets. And it's, I mean, Matt's done these detoxes. He knows what comes out when you give the body a break.
This is true.
But we just thought we'd share that. It was a completely out of the blue. It's a let's see what happened, and it was just interesting. And this morning, I felt pretty incredible, to be honest.
Really?
It's like, oh, I feel like I've had a really good sleep. And I think I woke up a couple of times in the night. But I woke up this morning feel pretty bright-eyed and clear. So
nice.
Even just for a short fast, there's been
totally
good.
I think that
in my mind.
Yeah, it's beneficial for sure.
Okay. You got anything else to say?
I'm good, people. Thanks as always for joining. John, send them out.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you for the listeners on the iTunes and the Podbean. Thank you for the watchers on Facebook and YouTube. Very soon, we're going to be uploading the whole back catalogue, 100+ episodes to YouTube. So you can spend as little or as much time catching up with our ramblings as you like. But please, if there's a subscribe button on the screen, subscribe, follow, like, and most importantly for us, pop some comments down and share with your friends if you feel they may get some value out of us. So that's it. Peace and out now.
Peace. See you tomorrow.